talk about again when you have these diseases, when you have your own garden, how you can go. Basically, these things are curable from something within your garden.
Absolutely. So one of the
And talk about like the history of it. That like this is something you just believe that you
Right.
just think. I
Right.
mean, it's facts.
Absolutely. And like I told you, everything that I say is based on something. Look it up. The fact that we have phones right now that have the power of the worldwide net, you don't have to believe anything they say. Because people nowadays say a whole lot. Everybody has a platform, and they think because they get a platform that makes it right. And that's not necessarily true. You have to go and be accountable for your own learning. So when you hear something and it resonates with you, look it up. Go and see if well this person said this. Let me find out how far we can go with that. And that is simply to when we get back to bring it back to healthcare. So I'm a registered nurse and I've been a nurse now for about 15 years or so. So we see everything. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I've been through the ER, through the ICU, up in management. So we've been right there on the forefront of what's happening. So when you find out that you're sick, let's start with number one. I was talking to my husband the other day, and I said, you have to work out a little more. I'm that wife. I'm the nagger. But how many laps did you get in today? What'd you do? What happened?
Put
And
his
he
ass
said,
on blast on social media.
he said, well, when I was in high school, we were talking about high school because our kids are all in high school now, and they're getting bigger, and we're talking about working out and tryouts and things. And he said, I'm in such good shape because I worked out back then. I said, well, honey, that was 30 years ago. And anybody who don't work out for 30 years.
Okay.
And so,
Okay.
I tell him.
What else you grow in that garden? Chronic. He been smoking. What he been smoking?
I'm like, come on, you have to be aware. But I think as adults, time moves different.
Yes.
So you kind of think like, I got time. I'm gonna get in shape. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And then you look up and you realize you ain't been in the gym in 30 years for real, in real life.
Tomorrow is
and
today.
You're like, well, how did that happen? And you have to take your health kind of with that kind of thought. You gotta go to the gym. Mm-hmm. You don't go to the gym to look good. You go to the gym so that when you're 80, you can still walk around by yourself on your own accord. Mm-hmm. You go to the gym so that you can make sure that you don't have to live with your kids and worry about what they're going to do, so that you can live healthy. Mm-hmm. A lot of things, in our society itself, we're not very nice to elderly. We don't. We lock them out. We don't think about it. And when we do think about it, it's either in the context of death or dying, or in the context of when you're old, you are sickly. Yeah. That is not a thing. That's a thing here in the United States because we are unhealthy in our eating habits. Because we are unhealthy with our diet. When you go to other countries and they have rice-based diets, they have these holistic kind of diets where they're eating from their land, they're 110. Yes. Walking around, talking to you, in their right mind, as our reverend would say. They woke up clothed in their right mind that morning. That is not, whereas we think when you're 80, it's all, I don't want to get old, I'm going to have to go to a nursing home. Like, no, that's the route you have to take if you're not living a healthy lifestyle. Right. And so we have to get rid of the thought process, number one. And the first things first is you can control your diet. You can control it so much so that our universe, our God, has literally put it outside your door. When you see a dandelion, we are poisoning the ground for dandelions that are doing so that they can help with your liver, they can help with edema, they can help with just all these, everything you see has some type of effect, some way, somehow that can be beneficial. But we walk out and we say, dandelion, that's a weed. Who do you think called it a weed first? Because our ancestors didn't call it a weed. Yeah. No, they didn't. But somebody who wanted lawns to go and be the main thing looked and said, oh, those are weeds right there. Well, weeds are really just things that you don't want in that place. But if you understood the benefits of these quote unquote weeds, you'd have them in your garden beds. And so we have a lot of things that were thought of as weeds. Curly dock is the little spirally weeds that grow in the cracks that you see sometimes. We have a lot of dandelions. We get the tops, we get our dandelion root, we get our dandelion leaves. All of it can be used for teas. Your chicory, those are those little blue flower spiky things that you usually see on the side of the highway. It's just all these things that in our mind we've been pulling up, and plantain plants. You can crush one of those up and put them on a wound, and it'll stop the itching, the wound, and the pain. But they don't teach us that.
No.
So the first step that I like to do with people I'm consulting with, or just friends and family that I go to, is I like to find out what you have in your yard or in your place. What's in your community? When you're walking down the street, are you passing all of these beneficial weeds, quote unquote, that you should know about? Because now it's about us educating ourselves, about us saying, I'm not just going to be in this place, I'm going to be of